Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here, and do I have a good battle for you guys today. This is a 6-player free-for-all, but that is not where the fun stops. This is a 2 vs 2 vs 1 vs 1. So we have 2 teams of 2, and we have 2 people by themselves just trying to fight everyone. So because of that, it should hopefully create a really nice and interesting battle with, you know, all sides trying to kind of come out on top, and everyone just clashing and doing their best. So I'm super excited to see how this one turns out. Let's start off by looking at the teams and what people are bringing, and then we'll jump straight into the action as the battle does kick off pretty quickly. So we'll start off with one of the teams of 2. We have Rohan and we have Gondor. These guys are going to be mustering together, and they've actually got the elves really close to them, so they have to be pretty careful. I'm pretty sure the funds were the same, so the people with 2 teams, the people with 2 players on their teams have the same money as the people with 1 person on their team, which should hopefully make it a bit pretty interesting. So on the front line for Rohan, we have some basic swordsmen. Behind them, we have some pretty basic archers. Then we have some of these like shield maidens. These guys look pretty cool. I like how they're a stealth unit. Then we have some marshals of the red. These guys look pretty elite. And then the dismounted royal guard. So you all know that's a very, very good unit. Then we finally have a catapult back here. For Gondor, their teammate, we have some Gondor Citadel Guard archers, along with some wardens of Minas Ithil, I think is how you pronounce that. We also have some Fountain Guard making up the pike line, and then some Gondor infantry, along with some with a trebuchet and a little bit of cavalry back there. Then on a team by itself, we have the elves of Rivendell. We have some pretty elite archers on the front lines. The elves of this faction right here brought a ton of archers just to annihilate someone at range. If they even come close to them, it's going to be a bloodbath, that is for sure. So we have some Eowyn archers, we have some noble elders along with a catapult, some more Eowyn archers, these I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, but these warrior archers right here, they look pretty cool, you know, full of leather armor. Then we have some Eowyn swordsmen, along with some Mithril nobles. We always know they're good. And these Inlamorous storm raiders are always sick. I mean, just looking at their swords, you know they're going to be a good unit, that's for sure. They finally have some of these storm guard as well, which are kind of like the storm variant. And then finally, we have some of these Phalas lords, again, just looking sick. So much elite armor. I mean, the elven smiths are pretty insane. So they've set up there kind of nice on the flank of Gondor and Rohan. Then we have the forces of Umber and Harad. These guys are also on the same team. And you don't actually get to see too many forces from Umber. Like, I've never seen Umber actually in battle before, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what they are made of. So we have some Harad archers, along with some Southern Warband. These are basically just kind of like the basic troops for Harad, nothing too crazy, just kind of adding numbers. We have some Munhad tribesmen, along with some more Haradrian spearmen, and some more Southern archers. So again, a pretty basic force. Where did they spend their money? Probably on this cavalry force right here. Yeah, we have some really elite lancers, along with some camels over here as well. I believe this is like a skirmisher cav. So yeah, some really elite cavalry on this fact, kind of going with a cheaper infantry and archer force. And obviously, we have Bamuma Kill as well. These bad boys would have been extremely expensive with some dismounted serpent guard. Wow, they can spend a lot of money here. And some southern pikemen. I guess with the, you know, the really cheap main backbone of their army, they can get some of them elite units. Then for Umber, we have some, oh, these guys look sick. I like these dudes a lot. Some really elite looking archers and crossbows. Lots of archers in Umber's forces, and then we have some of these chosen as well. They've kind of got a really nice like eastern feel to them, but with like western-ish armor, like shoulder blades and stuff. That looks really cool. I like that a lot. We also have some corsairs, savages, and then I guess basically just some normal corsair warriors and a ballista back here as well. These guys look like they're just going immediately over to our final faction, which is the forces of the Misty Mountain. And these guys, what are these dudes actually even doing out here? This is like a scouting party coming back. Yeah, we actually have some heavy goblin infantry. I imagine they were actually forgotten about before anything else. We can actually go up to half speed now, just so the battle really gets ready to pop off when we do finish this last army comp. So we have some heavy goblin archers on the front line with stakes being put down. Behind them we have some of the black orcs of the mountain. And I think the orcs of the Misty Mountain are probably my favorite orc faction in the game. I feel like the Orcs of the Misty Mountain is really like a nice diverse roster. Then we have some Uruk pikemen behind them, backing them up. We also have some warg riders. I believe the warg riders are actually somewhat skirmisher cavalry, along with some normal mountain trolls and some snow trolls. And we also have a Borg champion unit back here. Is Borg actually here? Is he like a custom model in this unit? I don't think he is. I think it's just a normal orc general. Then finally, over on this right flank, we have obviously a catapult and then some of the Black Legion. Just such a sick looking unit. It really is. Like, it looks absolutely amazing. Really do enjoy looking at that unit. So cool, there's 2 units of them. So I think that's pretty much it for all the army comps. Let's go ahead and turn this up. So I imagine what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be splitting ourselves across this battlefield pretty regularly, checking out what all of these battles are doing, because what I'm expecting to see is a lot of factions kind of having their own separate battles. I imagine we'll see the forces of Rohan and Gondor come after the elves, and then we'll see the forces of Umber and Harad going after the Orcs of the Misty Mountain. That's just kind of the way they're setting up, so I assume that's going to be how it is. However, we could very easily maybe see some forces coming over from like Gondor or Rohan and really hurting them, because I actually forgot about all this Rohan cavalry as well. Completely forgot about it. Obviously, Rohan have an elite cavalry force, which I didn't even speak about. The Rohan Royal Guards. We also have some of the Cataphract Knights. And these guys are very much shifting their cavalry force towards the army of Umber and Harad. So it's going to be cool to see if these guys do get stuck in. Maybe they're going to go for a very much more defensive army against the elves and then try and use the cavalry to absolutely smash these guys in the back once they engage. It's just really cool seeing these nice, interesting battles where everyone kind of has their own, their own objectives and agendas, and, people can help and betray each other. Obviously, in these 2v2, v1v1s, the teams are a bit more set, but it's always cool to kind of see, small alliances being made and broken in the midst of battle. So cool, what I'll do is I will cut the battle to when it begins. Oh no, actually, we got a catapult here coming off here by the elves. Oh wow, and thankfully, no, this is actually by Gondor. Yeah, Gondor trying to rally off some shots, but not really finding too many targets. So what I'll do is I will go ahead and cut it to when these factions do decide to start colliding properly, because at the moment everyone just seems to be trying to feel each other out and not really committing. So I'll see you guys in the action. Okay guys, I feel like the action is about to erupt now as everyone is somewhat in position. I'll give you guys a little update on where everyone has gone now during the kind of time I was speeding through. So the elves have decided to go ahead and take this hill behind Gondor and Rohan. This will be a great position for them, and if they can kind of unload their archers onto Gondor whilst they're trying to reform, that'd be really good, because at the moment all the cavalry force for Rohan and for Gondor are pretty much over here having a nice little scrap with the forces of Umber. They got a nice little charge off, however. Many of these guys did die in that little cavalry engagement. I feel like I'll just skip over it because not like a lot of crazy stuff happened in that. It's just kind of a minor skirmish. However, Rohan have been using their horse archers really effectively. You can see kind of the casualties they've already given in just from their own missile fire, and they're also kind of forcing a lot of these Harad and Umber units out of position, which is allowing the Orcs of the Misty Mountain just to really come up behind them. So at the moment, it's almost like these teams of 2 are actually somewhat in very much a defensive position, as the teams of 1 are just kind of, messing around with them and surrounding them. I guess Harad have to worry about the Orcs of the Misty Mountain, and Gondor and Rohan have to worry about the elves, and whilst trying to deal with each other as well. I think it would be a very smart idea if they did literally just, sit back and allow the factions to fight and then kind of pour in a little bit after. I also love this view as well, as we can just see the forces in the distance all coming together. This would be a great chance for them to take out this trebuchet by just moving up their archers a little bit closer maybe, and then just shooting, because they must be almost in range. They are very much almost touching. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see the archers from the elves start firing right now as soon as they do form up here, because the elves have pretty disgusting range in the long-term kind of battle. Yeah, you can see them starting to notch their bows. They're actually going to be putting them. No, they're not. They're just stretching. I'm surprised. I thought they would be in range, because I mean they've got a hill and these guys aren't that far away. They are pretty close. Yeah, but at the moment they're just flexing, nothing too crazy happening. Okay, here we go. They're going to be pushing forward into range, I imagine. And start getting some shots off because they're going to melt this Gondor infantry really quickly with the amount of archers they brought. And because of that, Gondor's going to have to make a decision. What do they do? Because all the Rohan Cav is on this far right flank, kind of safeguarding against Harad. So they have to be really careful, and I think this is going to be where our first engagement is. Have they moved up into range yet? Now the elves are just kind of teasing it. Oh god, I was excited then. Oh, but the arrow fire from Gondor. Surely they must be in range now then. Surely they must be in range. If they're receiving missile fire, they must be close to be able to shoot. They're also taking some catapult hits as well from the trebuchet. One just going straight through the Storm Raiders as well. I guess the trebuchets are shooting now? Because I mean, what is possibly shooting the elves which they can't shoot? However, that's actually a really nice charge off there by the elves, getting some really unprepared infantry as more artillery comes in. Here we go, boys. The battle has erupted as we have more guards of Oziliath and these Gondor Citadel Guard getting hammered. Luckily, one of these catapults didn't go down. I'm expecting, the battle kind of started off slow, but I imagine it's going to go into full gear right now as an entire unit of these Gondorian infantry have just been killed, and these elves are not done yet. The Elaborate's cavalry are going to be charging onto the archers. This is going to be a huge nuisance for the force of Gondor, losing this many soldiers to begin with. The catapults are going back. I imagine this is catapults from Rohan. And again, getting some big hits. Luckily, the forces of the elves are actually really clumped up right now. All their archers are just firing as many shots as they can get off every single second. The more shots they deploy, the better. But I mean, their cavalry just seems to be doing so much damage right now that they just don't really need to commit any infantry yet. The arrows are pouring in and just slaughtering both Gondorian archers and Rohan. And I think this is going to force the hand of Rohan as all their cavalry comes flying back. Oh, thank God them catapult hits miss. But yeah, I think this is going to force the hand of Rohan just to move around and start attacking these guys, because there's not a crazy amount of defense. And if the cavalry can get in the side of these archers, they're going to slaughter them. I'll get a pretty underwhelming hit there by the catapult. Thankfully, these catapults did a bit better. If I was the elves right now, I'd be turning all my missile fire onto shooting towards Rohan. A nice little cavalry charge there by Rohan in the woods, by the elves, in the woods. And they're going to be pushing off this royal guard as they try and make their way around the flank. But again, they just have to be so careful not to lose their archers, because obviously that is such a key part of the forces of the elves, to keeping their archers alive. How are these guys doing? Oh, Harad and Umbra are seizing this weakness. Are seizing the weakness of Gondor, and they're pushing everything towards Gondor. However, the Orcs of the Misty Mountain, have they made like a peace deal with them, or what? Because at the moment they could easily push towards these ballista. I think these guys have teamed up because they're not originally on a team. But I think the Orcs of the Misty Mountain and Umbra and Harad have teamed up. Otherwise, these ballista would be gone. Or are they gone? I'm not sure. No, I guess they are gone. So they haven't teamed up at all. And their ballistas are just going to be left by themselves, and this unit is just done for. There's nothing really to send. They've kind of almost just abandoned them, which is really bad. However, Gondor are going to have to struggle so heavily as more of the infantry and archers get pushed up now. Yeah, the infantry, Gondor are just getting cut to pieces right now. And there's not really a lot they can do, because they're about to get smashed in the backside, as well as that huge artillery hit comes off. Oh, the artillery is flying left, right, and center right now. It's only going to be a matter of time as we'll zoom in a little bit more. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell because all we can see is red. Everything that isn't the elves is red. But yeah, Gondor are just getting surrounded along with, obviously, Rohan. Luckily, they have more reinforcements coming in. They really do need to try and deal with these elves as soon as possible, because any second now, we can already start to see a few of the Harad units about to make their way up here. Gondor are forming up here on the hill, moving their Citadel Guard into formation. And I mean, they should be able to deal with a lot of these Corsair warriors, but it's more about like these cavalry and the trolls. The trolls are rushing their way up, and this unit of Gondor wardens have actually been caught by some of the cavalry back there. How are Umber and the Orcs of the Misty Mountain doing? Are they engaging at all? Or are they not? No, they're falling back as the archer fire Yeah, the archer fire is pushing back their trolls a little bit. So by the looks of it, it does seem that the forces of Umber have turned around their archers to try and focus these guys down. But that does leave them pretty exposed because their entire infantry line at the moment is currently engaging Gondor. So if the Orcs of the Misty Mountain were to simply just pour in, they could do so much damage to the back line because I don't think there's much infantry left protecting them whatsoever. Yeah, more infantry coming in. Luckily, the Citadel Guard should be okay at holding. But, I mean, these Axemen are going to be brutal at trying to keep the enemy at bay. Like, really, really hard to silence them. Gondor are trying to defend against Harad and Umber, and I think it's proving a bit too much as the Gondor Spear Infantry charges into the Muhad Tribesmen. I really like the Muhad Tribesmen spear attacks as well. Let's go back to Gondor. Sorry, guys. I'm zooming around the battlefield quite a lot and not focusing in on one section. But I feel like there's just so much to really be looking at. You know, in these free-for-alls, battles are just so insanely hectic that you kind of have to be zooming around, not spending too much time on one spot. Because if you do, you just end up missing so much action. Which is something I'm definitely not complaining about. But hopefully it's okay that I'm not just, you know, skipping over, like moving the camera so much and making you guys feel a bit sick. So Gondor's general has gone down by the looks of it, that was Umber who managed to kill him. All the Rohan cavalry has kind of done their job now, and they've managed to break themselves upon the archers of the elves, which is a smart move there. How are the elven infantry doing? The elven infantry is kind of doing pretty decently. They're clashing against the forces of Rohan right now, trying their best to take them down. And I think these forces are probably pretty evenly matched because I believe the Rohan Axemen are top tier, and obviously they've got the elves have the smiths, and I think all elven infantry is somewhat top tier. So we have a few clumps of heavy infantry. Something I always wished, please royal nobles, make the elves pay, charge into their sides. Something I would love to happen in obviously it's never gonna happen, but in Medieval 2 replays, I would love it if you could press that button when you're in battle where it highlights enemies and friends. I think that'd be such a good button to have in replays. Are they just exhausted and that's why they're only warmed up, so I don't know why they're moving so slowly, but whoa, epic charge, that was absolutely insane. I think maybe because they were getting caught by these Imlamra's Storm Guard maybe? I don't know, but that was pretty appalling. They're going to be trying to push around here. So this is a pretty heavy work here by Gondor, as they have more of their trebuchets are being overrun. The cavalry is just pouring in, cutting down the Gondor Citadel Guard archers. Luckily, the Citadel Guard archers are holding firm, but I can't imagine if the rest of the infantry line has just been overwhelmed, and the camels are just running amok right now in the back line. These Gondor infantrymen are still holding. Have the Orcs of... No, God, the Orcs of the Misty Mountain are really just delaying their assault. They're just waiting. And I don't think that's the smartest move. I think they should really just be committing everything they have. They're sending some forces round here. Their wargs are picking off a few of the stragglers, which is a smart move for them to make. Catapult here. We gonna get any big kills? That was pretty nice. That managed to hit Gondor infantry, and it managed to hit the Harad infantry as well. Both of the enemies that you have to kill. And that's one of the things in free-for-alls you have to be really aware of. If you can focus your missile fire or your catapult fire on an area where both of your other enemies are all fighting each other, and that's perfect, because that way you're going to be hitting 2 enemies instead of just 1 and your own troops. You're going to be getting kind of like double the points because all your arrows are going to be finding an enemy. Whereas if you fire into your own line, in your own battle line, sorry, you're going to be hitting some of your own troops, and you're just going to be getting less points because of it. Obviously, we just saw the army. Oh, another catapult hit coming in. Unfortunately, missing. We just saw the Elven army general die, which is not going to be that bad, honestly, for the elves, because the Elven morale is always pretty decent. As we see some of these guards of Ozilith being surrounded. It does look pretty cool, though, as they are surrounded. And also getting shot as well. God, the elves are just, you know, betraying their shots perfectly into that tiny gap. And they're just slaughtering the guards of Ozilith. I imagine these guys will be running fairly soon from the field of battle. I don't really know who's coming out on top here, whether it's the elves, whether it's the Gondor. I feel like Harad definitely have the best advantage at the moment, whereas the elves and the... I mean, just look at this. We have so much archer fire pouring in here. It's just disgusting. Because I feel like Gondor and Rohan have definitely been surrounded. That obviously does give them the best opportunity to kill as many units as possible. They just kind of get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of numbers, and that's exactly what kind of happened in this battle. The Orcs of the Misty Mountain haven't really done much until right now, as they pour in their trolls. And this is a perfect opportunity to stick these trolls in, because there's a lot of this formation just completely broken. And this is going to be pretty crazy as well, because this is going to give Gondor, Rohan, and the elves time to kind of almost regain their strength and reform up. Whether they want to make an alliance and go after what remains of these guys, because there's so many of them left, or what, but it gives them a moment to breathe, which I think Gondor and Rohan definitely needed, because they were obviously fighting on two fronts. These trolls are going to just cause absolute mayhem in the back ranks. I need to be very careful, because I think these camel riders do quite a lot of damage to large units as they come flying in. That was pretty cool to watch. The trolls, though, are just running forward and just, again, doing their damage as they're supposed to, you know, getting some really nice charges off onto the Corsair Blackguard. And this is just biding a lot of time for the rest of the infantry to turn up. Oh, some big hits off there as well. The more of their cavalry they kill, the better, I think. And the Orcs of the Misty Mountain are somewhat delayed, but their infantry are slowly getting up here. When they do finally get up here, I think they'll be able to do a lot of damage. The Orcs of the Misty Mountain have a lot of good infantry. You can already see the archers coming in here as well, fighting off against the Corsair crossbows. How are Gondor and Rohan reacting to this, and the elves? Because, I mean, there's still a lot of cavalry here. Oh, these poor Citadel Guard archers about to get completely enveloped. That is brutal. But how's everyone else doing? We have some shield maidens still holding here. The elves and Gondor are still fighting. And I think the elves are definitely going to come out on top of this. Yeah, the elves have come out on top. I think that was just way too much for Gondor. However, I'm pretty sure this is scored resolution. So even though Gondor and Rohan are pretty much out, they have a few shield maidens left. But, you know, even though they're pretty much out, that does not mean they're lost. As we do actually have the Black Legion coming into the side of the elves right now. This is such a cool battle. I love battles like this, where you just have everyone fighting everyone in a full-out scrap. I really, really love as well when it's a, you know, a massive free-for-all, and everyone is making alliances in chat. You know, like we'd be like the elves be like, oh, we'll team up with the Orcs of the Misty Mountain right now to take down the rest of these guys and try and kill them. The Orcs of the Misty Mountains have finally formed up their shot. Any big catapult hits? Oh, nice! 2 million! Oh my god, that is huge! Killing 2 Mumakil right there. That is absolutely insane. And a third one as well. Wow, oh my god. That was probably the best catapult hit of all time. The amount of money that just killed, and you still got some more in. If they take out all the Mumakil right now, I'm going to be a little bit sick. Oh my god, only 1 Mumakil remains. I feel a bit sick if I'm honest. If this one homes in. Oh my, no, thank god this one missed. But does it? Oh my god. I feel a bit sick inside if I'm honest. All the Mumakil dying without even having to do anything in the battle. That is just absolutely insane. The Black Orcs of the Mountain charging in against the Corsairs, who should be killing them. I don't expect these guys to be holding firm at all. However, more of the Corsair savages are being pushed into the battle to reinforce this battle line. I still can't believe 4 Mumakil going down out of like 5 shots is just absolutely. Well, I think it's maybe 6 shots. Is absolutely disgusting. Absolutely just revolting. And the other one? No, the other one has just run far, far away, which makes a lot of sense. So are the elves? I guess the elves are going to be dealing with the Black Legion now. Yeah, the elves are going to be teaming up on the Black Legion and trying to kill these units. I mean, this Warg unit has pretty easy targets if it wants it. I imagine there's quite a few of these archers up here. Or the siege crew, I guess, running away somewhere. Where are the archers for the elves? I mean, either way, there's some pretty easy opportunities for these guys to charge down, as the rest of the elves come flying into the back of these wargs. They don't seem to be moving anywhere, and actually get caught a bit off guard here. But I imagine the Orcs of the Misty Mountain player has a lot to deal with, as he is fighting on several fronts, for sure. I still can't believe that. Oh my god, the catapult hit's coming so close. Is this one going to find a big hit? Thank god it didn't, because it's already done enough damage, if I'm honest. These battles do look pretty hectic as well, from being zoomed out. The amount of damage occurring on all fronts is disgusting. So Umber and Harada have now committed pretty much their entire army to fighting the Orcs of the Misty Mountain, using their archers. I mean, they definitely still have the high ground, which is great, and the sheer amount of missiles coming in is just pinning down a lot of these guys, especially the ones who have their backs turned. All these Orc Berserkers as well look pretty cool. Oh my god, how many men did that kill? Oh, not that many actually. I thought that would have killed a lot more. That actually only killed around about 20 dudes, but I was expecting more. And they've got a lot of missile fire coming in on them as well. A lot of missile fire coming in on the Southern Warband. But I imagine the Berserkers will just cut through these guys. The Orcs of the Misty Mountain General has actually just gone down as well, and because of that, we might see some of these guys actually routing because they're actually exhausted. A few of these units are actually exhausted, whereas Harad and Umber are still very much healthy. Look how much infantry they still have left over here as well. Lots of archers. There we go. The Umber General goes down by a rogue Rohan General. A Rohan. Where even is that? Was it all the way over here? Yeah, it was literally, that's hilarious. One rogue rider just killed 2 of the Umber cavalrymen and killing the general. That is absolutely hilarious. There's still so many of these Serpent Guard. I'm just waiting to be committed to the actual battle. They seem to be just sitting back and they could be doing a lot of damage right now. Like, imagine if they managed to get on the back lines of all these pikes. They could just be slaughtering them. The Orcs of the Misty Mountains are bringing back their cavalry now as well. The elves are actually making their way down to engage Umber. So this is just an all-out scrap right now. No one is taking sides besides the already sides made. Oh, I love the look of these guys as well. I love their helmets. It looks really cool. God, Harad just have so many men left. They're just waiting to commit. Like, look at all of this infantry up here. They have an entire unit of Muhad tribesmen, all of this cavalry as well, which I guess is starting to be committed right now. There's also some Umber archers as well. Oh, the Mumakil went in, but by the looks of it, it did go down. It tried its best to do as much damage as possible, and unfortunately, that just wasn't the case to do that killing blow. That still does look very, very cool nonetheless, though. Seeing the Mumakil in the midst of battle as these Black Legion and elves do go at it. There's also kind of a nice little detachment of these Storm Guard Storm Raiders around the side. They should be able to clean these guys up pretty easily. But again, look at the casualties lying on the ground here. You can really tell that there's been a huge ass battle here, and this is just one part of the battlefield as well. This was just Rohan and the elves and Gondor. And we obviously have the battle down here as well, which is still raging on, creating so many dead bodies. The archers are reforming. How are the Orcs of the Misty Mountain doing? Are they getting beaten back right now? I'm not sure who's coming out on top of any of these engagements. It's really hard to actually tell. It does look like some of the Harad... oh my god, these guys have pretty crazy weapons. Look at that. They're like Darth Maul right there. They do somewhat look like him as well. The Rohan General has finally gone down. I think that's it for Rohan. I can't think of any units they still have left remaining. The Orcs of the Misty Mountain are not looking like they have a lot of soldiers left either. They've managed to kind of retreat back a little bit here. These pikemen are about to get absolutely... No, the Southern Lancers aren't going to charge into these guys? Why not? Oh, they are going to be charging into this unit right here of the Orc Heavy Infantry. And that's going to be killing like 30, 40 of them on the charge. Even more than that. Wow, going down to 70 men. That is disgusting. That's something you don't really get from more modern Total Wars. Infantry can kind of hold their own against cavalry charges from the front fairly effectively, whereas in Third Age, if you charge a normal infantry unit from the front, they're just going to get absolutely demolished. We saw that at the beginning of the battle as Gondor came flying in. The Wargs are going to be trying to do some damage in the back here, but not really achieving because the Uric pikemen are just simply going to be routing from the field of battle. How are the elves doing? The elves turning around their forces over here. Not quite yet. They've still got a few more infantrymen to kill. But they have managed to it looks like they've managed to kill all the Orcs of the Misty Mountain units right here. So it's going to come to the forces of the elves coming up against the forces of Harad and Umber. As it doesn't look like the army of the Orcs of the Misty Mountain have much fight left in them. So it's going to be interesting to see. You know, the elves actually, balance of power-wise, the elves are looking really good. And again, I'm pretty sure this is score resolution, but maybe it could be last man standing. I guess that's something I should really look into before casting these replays. Unfortunately, the replay didn't actually say. Yeah, the elves are actually using some pretty nice numbers right now to harass these missiles and actually rout. Oh my god, they actually managed to rout all these crossbows. That's a lot of crossbows. They're all of a sudden just, you know, wiping off the field of battle. The rest of the elves are charging down. They're obviously up against the Serpent Guard, an elite unit from Harad, but is that even going to be enough? I mean, there's just so much cavalry. Yeah, look at this cavalry now just reforming up. I guess the Orcs of the Misty Mountains have been dealt with now, yeah. They have indeed. They have a few kind of cavalry units scattered. You know, some, that's just missile units as well. Yeah, the Orcs of the Misty Mountains look to be completely done as the cavalry just starts to push towards them. Come on, the cavalry, if the cavalry could end this battle here and now, if I'm honest. These tribesmen aren't going to hold them much longer. The cavalry needs to be brought in to the battle, and I think that's exactly what is going to be achieved right now. There's infantry coming into the back. The Edoween archers are going to be turning round and looking to face these guys as best they can. But the elves are going to be getting surrounded, surely. They don't have much left. Their bigger kind of infantry parliament is up there, especially with the cavalry coming in as well. The Southern Lancers making their name known. And with their support, these elves who are already getting pushed back just because they don't have the numbers are going to be ended, I imagine. Yeah, they're getting completely surrounded right now. Some of the horses are going down, but obviously it's not going to be enough at all. The elves have managed to break this, so they can now send reinforcements, and I guess there isn't too much left for the defenders, like for Umber and Harad, really. And they're going to be kind of combining their forces, getting a nice little charge in the flank against the Serpent Guard as their soldiers do make their way down. And you know, the Serpent Guard just retreating back. Yeah, I think a lot of the Serpent Guard just look to reform their position, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, they're going to be cutting down a load of these harassed shadows as well. I honestly don't know if the elves... I feel like the elves might be able just to do this by just causing a mass rout, because I believe a lot of... Like, Umber is just completely shaken. It's just Harad left. Harad obviously have the cavalry, and if they use that right, I can't really foresee the elves, you know, winning. But at the moment, it doesn't look like the cavalry is being, like, you know, hammer and anvil strikes constantly, and the elves seem to be dealing pretty decently with them. We zoom in once again, because I think there's only 2 factions left. Oh, this is going to be huge. Are we going to see the elves just mass rout everyone? Because there is still a little bit of time left in the battle, you know. Lots of stuff can still change, and it looks like the elves are holding firm. And they are just pushing. These Phalas Lords and the Storm Raiders are just going in right now, cutting down the weaker infantry. If only the Mumakil was still alive and didn't die to them huge catapult hits. That'd be insane. Some of the cavalry, yeah, here we go. This is what I'm afraid of for the elves. If the elves hope to win, they have to be so careful from all these rear charges from the cavalry. The final bits of infantry are being pushed in now as well. The Southern Archers, another cavalry charge going off there. That's going to be deadly, but it looks like the elves are holding for now. And all they need to do is just simply rout the enemy. Unfortunately, these Edoween Archers to the far left are going to be getting killed. And I just don't know who's going to come out on top, if I'm honest. It just seems like now they're surrounded, it seems like there's just way too many soldiers from Harad really left remaining for them to win. I mean, what do they have up here still? There's still some green up here. They're like stuck in the Mumakil. Yeah, there's a few soldiers right here. Yeah, but by the looks of it, there's a couple men who I guess have been stuck up here. But yeah, besides that, everything is committed. And we'll zoom in on the map again. Yeah, the elves surely can't win on last man standing. I should make that clear. They can definitely still win on killing the most. I feel like the elves have definitely maybe inflicted the most amount of damage. And we get to see their final stand right here. They're just getting hammered on. This is what I was saying. Like, I don't foresee the elves coming out on top if they're going to constantly get smashed in the back by cavalry. However, the cavalry is going down. It's definitely been minimized and is shaken. Oh my god, if we see a mass rout here, I'm going to be a little bit sick inside, I think. The elves are bravely fighting Ombo. It's so awesome to see. I mean, this is something, again, you don't get in newer Total Wars. You don't get these scenarios like this. Normally the army would have already routed by now. You don't get this fight to the death, which is always so cool. And I'm not saying every battle should be like that in more modern Total Wars, but I feel like there should be occasions, you know, maybe abilities you can pick up in multiplayer, or on the campaign map where your general gets it, where it just makes his army, you know, the morale just so insane that they don't rout, you know, make it more attainable, that the army wouldn't just, you know, all run, and you'd have some like elite units who will just simply fight to the death, you know, units that have been with you since the beginning of the game or something like that. Maybe like a loyalty system to the general itself, you know, and have that tie in with morale. I think that could be really cool. Also, make sure to let me know in the comments down below, guys, what factions you want to see come up against each other, whether it's free-for-all, sieges, do just let me know. And also, because I know quite a few people don't end up making it to this part, so if you made it to this part of the video, let me know. Type what your favourite... let me know what your favourite colour is in the comments down below. Like, put a comment and then just put your favourite colour afterwards, because I'm always interested to see who actually makes it to this point in the video, because I know a lot of people just simply click on it and then click off. So yeah, if you guys want to comment, you know, feel free, and just put your favourite colour, and I'll know. I'll make sure to go through the comments and just like all the ones where you guys have put your own colour, what one your favourite is. Because it is always interesting to find out, you know, who actually makes it to the end of these videos, who sticks around, and especially people who don't just skip to the end of the video. Because normally I say that right at the end of the video, and people have already skipped past it and just skip to the end of the video and then heard me say that. So you guys who are kind of in the mid to end part of the video, you guys are the real MVP. Much like these elves, who again are just fighting to the literal death. I don't understand how this battle, like, the elves are gone now, and there is literally nothing left, right? Yeah, everyone else is just pouring in. All of these guys have routed from the field of battle. Oh, I know why the battle goes on for so long, because it's scored resolution. They have to chase down every single routing unit, but I'll obviously make sure to cut that out, and we'll jump straight towards the end. But obviously the elves are still fighting hard, and there we have it. The last couple elves do go down, and that is going to be the battle. So cool, I'm going to triple speed it to the end of the battle until all the routing units have been chased down or killed, and then I will show you guys the end screen. Okay guys, so the battle has ended. Defeat. Oh, the elves came second in that, and it does look like, yeah, it does look like that the Umber and Harad forces did come out on top. The Orcs of the Misty Mountains coming last, obviously the elves second, and then the forces of Gondor and Rohan coming third. You can see the ranks right here. Kills wise though, oh my god, the elves racked up 4,500 kills. That is insane. To be fair, they were fighting everyone, but I guess Harad and Umber just managed to get a few more kills, a few more valuable kills, and obviously running down some people at the end maybe just tipped it just in their favor. I wouldn't be surprised if that literally was the thing. The Edoween Nobles getting 684 kills, disgusting. And we also have the Edoween Swordsman as well, 415, and the Smiths as well, 476. Some really nice kills here from the elves. So cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle. If you did, please be sure to make sure to drop a like and a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one, and fish out.